and 104 children. 20 wives and 104 children. Yes, you heard that right. 20 wives and 104 children. And it gets crazier. 7 of his wives are sisters. But that's not all. He even built his own village just for his family. But Ernesto's story didn't start like this. At first, he thought he would have a normal family. 1 wife, 1 child, that's it. But his father said that's not enough. Back then, their family was too small. So, like a soldier following orders, Ernesto married 5 more. Then 10, then 20 wives in just a few years. And soon, 104 children were born. When you see them all sitting together, it looks like a village meeting, but it's not. It's just one man's family. Every single one of these hundreds of lives depend on Ernesto. He feeds them, protects them, leads them, but no life is without pain. Over the years, 40 of his children died. 4 wives passed away. 20 wives and 104 children. Yes, you heard that right. 20 wives and 104 children. And it
Shalom. Call halal YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH, that's giving all praise to the Most High, and in His only begotten Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors to our teachers, the elders, and apostles of Great Millstone, who taught us His truth and sincerity. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered abroad. Shalom to 144,000. We will be fruitful and multiply in our kingdom. We will be fruitful and multiply in our kingdom. In this clip right here, you see it says 20 wives and 104 children. And this man, you know, he has created a whole village, you know, basically, of his own family. All right. And this is what we're going to do on a much larger scale once we enter into our kingdom and our rest. OK, now, one thing I have to address before I go any further is the sisters. OK, we're not going to deal with sisters. OK, that's awful according to the scriptures. And we'll show you, prove that real quick, just to make that point. And then we'll go into the lesson deeper, showing you that the Israelite man is more than is allowed to have more than one wife. And with that more than one wife, we will have hundreds, if not thousands of children, and in the kingdom millions, because we're never going to die. OK, so this is just a small glimpse of the kingdom that's coming for you, for the Israelite man. All right. It says Leviticus chapter 18, verse 18. Neither shalt thou take a wife to her sister to vex her, to uncover her nakedness beside the other in her lifetime. In NLT, while your wife is living, do not marry her sister, which we know sex is marriage, and have sexual relations with her, for they would be rivals. So according to our law, you're not supposed to marry sisters. And that's possibly why, you know, so many, you know, kids and wives died, because he was marrying sisters and whatnot, which that's, according to law, that's off. OK, now there's exceptions before this was established, but now that it has been established, that is off. Now, back to the topic of the many children. OK, the many wives and many children, as long as they're not closely related. Here's some comments. It says, this is who we were until they came and brainwash our women. Now they can't even get married or have children. They made sure they deceived us completely and reduced our numbers with their monogamous culture. They prefer same-sex marriage and despise the polygamous way of living because they know people thrive in community-based settings. Right. So it's all a plan to depop. All right. That's the whole thing. All right. It's about depopulation. All right. And through the spirit, Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHWASHI has put us on game of this, man. OK. What is it? The whole reason why he'll prefer same-sex marriage. OK. A man and a woman and a woman is so that he can, you know, better control the people. All right. Some of these comments I want to read. It says, be fruitful and multiply. Be fruitful and multiply was a person. It's supposed to say, if be fruitful and multiply was a person. All right. Which this is going to be every Israelite man in the kingdom. All right. We shall be fruitful and multiply. But here in this kingdom, you know, this is forbidden. It says, wow, I'm curious what color or what he does for a living. I heard that a few times, too, because they want to know, you know, how is he able to take care of such a big family? But through the spirit, we're going to be wealthy, you know. And it's a point I want to get right here. It says how nations were built. All right. And this is how our nation is going to be rebuilt. So let's show you that now. Going over here, it says Genesis chapter 9, verse 1. It says, and the Most High blessed Noah and his sons and said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. So the Lord commanded or blessed Noah and his sons and commanded them to be fruitful and multiply, which this is how we have all the nations that we see today through Noah and his 3 sons, Ham, Shem, and Japheth. Okay. And basically, this was after the flood. So the earth was flooded with water, which was the first death. Now, the second death, the earth is going to be hit with fire. Okay. And the earth will need to be replenished again because there are a lot of people that are about to die because of their sins and their wickedness. So with that, YAHAWASHI is going to need the earth to be replenished. Okay. Which means there's going to be a lot of baby making in the kingdom. This is why you have Isaiah 4:1. Or 7 women, which 7 just means completion, shall take hold of one man. Okay, because those women are going to get pregnant by that man and bring forth seed, children. Some women may have twins, triplets. Okay, it's all according to the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Let's grab this. All right, because it said he made a nation. Okay, and I don't want to make this too long. It's something quick in the spirit. All right, it says, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse. Get right to the point, verse 21. Thy people also shall be all righteous. You see, so in the kingdom, there's not going to be no sisters and, none like that. The scriptures go into that. Different, sexual relationships that's, going on here in Babylon that's forbidden in our law. A man can't sleep with his mother or his mother-in-law, his auntie. A woman can't sleep with her uncle or her dad or her granddad. This is stuff that goes on here in this kingdom. Okay. It says, thy people also shall all be righteous. They shall inherit the land forever. The branch of my planting, the work of my hands, that I may be glorified. And that's the whole point. A beautiful nation like this, when you seen that picture of that man and his family, look at that. That's beautiful, man. All right. This is so the Yahweh Bashim Yahushua can be glorified. And this is the power of a man. And a man's scrotum is, billions of sperm cells, life. Okay. And when a man is not restricted to one woman, he can create nations. Okay. It says, a little one shall become 1,000 and a small one a strong nation. I, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, will hasten it in his time. You see? So the Lord is going to do this in his time. All right. Now it's happening. We see, pockets of it happening here around the world. But the Lord is going to do it in his time, and he's going to perfect it. It's going to be a beautiful thing where one Israelite man can have hundreds of wives and thousands of children, okay? And we're going to live forever as well. So eventually it's going to be thousands of wives and millions of children, okay? Scripture says it's going to be as the sand of the sea. If you look at, go to the beach and you see that sand, that's how it's going to be for Israel. That's how we're going to be. In the NLT, it says, all your people will be righteous. They will possess their land forever. So all Jacob's going to be righteous, man. Okay. In the kingdom of heaven, every last Israelite is going to be righteous. There ain't going to be no adultery, no homosexuality. I'm seeing all these videos of these young Jakes getting caught, sneaking dudes in the house, watching hardcore male porn, like gay porn. Like, well, what's going on? But that's because Esau's in power. He's polluted the minds of our people. It's Jake doing this shit, man. That's heavily against our culture. But because Esau is in rulership, he told you that that's okay. And this is, the worst thing. It says, for I will plant them there with my own hands in order to bring myself glory. Look at this. The smallest family will become 1,000 people. You see that? So they're well on the way. Because you got to imagine when all those kids grow up and they start having children. The smallest family, as he said, it was a small family. The smallest family is going to become 1,000 children. So imagine in our kingdom, okay, when we're flourishing, there is going to be no more death, okay, bringing it back. The smallest family will become 1,000 people, and the tiniest group will become a mighty nation. At the time, I, the Lord, will make it happen. You see, the time is coming when the Lord's going to make this happen, man, okay? And we believe that. Okay, this is our punishment now, but our punishment is almost up, and then we're going to flourish, over the earth, and over these nations, reign over this earth. Okay, the Lord is going to scatter us also throughout, the universe, man. And then we're going to inhabit, these other realms and planets and whatnot, and the Lord is going to put us on a whole another level. And Esau knows this is why he's trying to go out of space. He's trying to go to the bottom of the ocean. But the Lord said he only he saved that for Israel, Sand of the sea. Let's see. Bear with me 1 second. Let me grab this. I'm great. I ain't gonna make this too long. So lucky. It says Yep. It says Hosea chapter 1 verse 10. It says, "Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, Ye are the sons of the living power." You see? So the Lord is going to, magnify us again and beautify his people. Let's grab that. First, let me read this in NLT. It says, "Yet the time will come when Israel's people will be like the sands of the seashore, too many to count." You see? Too many to count. All right? It says, "Then at the place where they were told, You are not my people, it will be said, You are the children of the living power." Right? So the Lord is about to redeem us, man. Okay? And we're going to be a mighty nation, a fruitful nation, a beautiful nation. All right? And this is what Esau despises. All right? He despises this. All right? So, that's pretty much the point. Okay? I ain't going to beat a dead horse. Just want to go into that real quick. I actually got to head out. So I pray this was edifying to the full leg. Shalom, Shalom, Ball.